Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of At Home with Tracy. Today I'm joined by two of my colleagues, Miss Sandra, or Sandy, Serafini, and Janet Wheeler. Thanks, ladies, for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're happy to be here, for sure.
I love what you ladies are doing. And before we even get into specific topics, I have a lot of admiration because it's something that most people are not willing to take the time to do. So,
Thank you.
with that, let's talk about what Janet and Sandy have been up to. They have decided to create a special niche in how they serve clients. Now, they still serve clients in all capacities, but they've taken time to learn and develop special efforts to be able to serve their clients of senior age. What made you want to specialize in working with seniors?
Well, first we began to realize that there are like 23 million silent generation people, as well as 76 million baby boomers that are coming of an age where they live in a house that's too big for them. They want to get into something maybe that's a little safer for them. So there's a high demand for them to move out, as well as they're looking for ranches and homes with first floor primary suites, which are hard to find. So they're struggling, and sometimes they just kind of give up and stay where they are.
Great point.
So what we'd like to do is try to help them understand what the process is, because for them it's very overwhelming. It's like they've been in the house forever. They don't really want to take this on. They're reluctant to do it.
Because they have 30, 40, 50 years worth of stuff in the house too.
Right.
And they don't know how to get rid of it all, or they don't want to get rid of it all.
Right. And
I think that's a huge point because most people think it's just about the move. Well, we can get you in a new place. We can list but it's really so much deeper than that. When someone has to think about not only the move, I don't know that is as stressful. It's more emotional for them.
Right.
But
right.
the stuff, that is very heavy.
Right. And not only for the person moving, but the family members.
Correct.
It's multi-dimensional of a process.
For sure.
I agree. I agree.
And then the other thing too is both Sandy and I have had personal stories with my aunt and her mother, where we kind of saw people that needed to move, what was involved in all of this, and we kind of like to help.
And saw the stress that it caused.
The toll it takes.
When done incorrectly, kind of.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's part of why I'm saying that I admire them, because it really does take a special approach to slowing down, pausing, and moving at a pace that might not be what you're used to doing every day with most of your clients. And I commend you because, like I said, it's easy to just overlook it. It's easy to say, these are not the clients I want to work with. I don't want to invest that much time. But the fact that you're doing that, you're not only creating a great career foundation, you're also creating a sense of trust that can't be done quickly. It can't be something that's like, oh, here you go, you trust me.
It's more of a service than anything.
Right.
I love it. I really do. What made you guys, and how did you get started?
Well, once we realized that there was a need for these people needed help, we did a lot of research. We spent just about a year finding ways. We got online and we saw that we could become certified as senior real estate specials. We took special classes. I think it was 48 hours worth, or 2 days worth of.
Wow.
2 days worth of classes. Yeah. No, it was 2 8-hour days.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was a week.
It was a week.
Okay. Well, it was like 40 hours worth of classes that we took, where we learned, how to deal with the emotional side of the whole process and all of the needs that they might have. It just made us more aware of what needed to be on the forefront when we deal with these people. We have to keep all of that in mind.
Yeah.
So we did that. We became certified as senior real estate specialists, and we also started attending CD shop events. That's the Capital District Senior Housing Options.
I've seen that, and that was pretty awesome to see
once
you guys getting together.
They get together once a month, and they discuss everything seniors may need, every kind of service that you might need. We met a lot of nice people. We made some great connections.
Yes.
We did a lot of networking, and that was really educational for us as well.
It's a lot of knowledge because this is so much with the technology field is coming into the seniors as well, and
Yeah.
it's every time we go, I swear we're learning something that it's like, wow, that's
What was
cool,
the name of that little critter that they?
Oh, the pet, I can't remember.
It was some kind of pet, like an AI pet that
Okay.
for people who live alone
Yeah.
and don't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah.
And it learns to talk to you, and it learns your habits.
Wow.
It will
And you can
remind you
pet
to
it
take
and-
your pills.
Yeah.
It'll
That's
say,
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
lunchtime now. You can have total conversations with these things. And from what we heard, it really helps seniors with the loneliness, because
Right.
a lot of them who live alone.
That's what they
And,
experience
you know,
for sure.
Yeah.
And you probably would have never known about a product such as
No,
that.
no,
I mean,
no.
how would you have, unless
Right.
it was a personal need?
Yes.
And I can say years before I became in real estate, I actually was the director of a federally funded program that worked primarily with seniors.
Mm-hmm.
We actually put seniors in environments working with children. So it was the foster grandparent program.
Mhm.
And in doing that, I also learned it's not just about the service that we were providing, connecting them with services that I knew through meeting them and getting to know them, that, maybe Miss Smith really needs somebody to help with staying organized within her apartment, or needs help with transportation to doctors. When you start to develop a web of connections
Mm-hmm.
that, even outside of the service you provide, it allows you to serve your clients to the best ability you can.
Correct.
And that is what I'm talking about, because let's be honest, we live in a world where it's instant gratification. And most people, some people, I don't want to group categorize, but want it now. They want results now. That's not how we work with our seniors.
No.
Our seniors are not tech savvy. Even if they have an email, they don't want to check it. They don't like to check it. There's something about it that has a disconnect still.
Right.
A lot of them have it because their family has made them get one.
Right.
But taking the time to meet them where they're at is so much more than just meeting a regular client
And
where
that's
they're at.
really what you have to do, because I mean, our goal is to reduce the anxiety and the stress of the whole process.
That's strong.
And that they're going to say, forget it, I don't want to do this, it's too much, I can't take it on.
Right.
Unless you go step by step, explain everything. I mean, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And if you know what you're up against
Mhm.
ahead of time, you can say, oh, we talked about this. Yep, I know
Yeah.
what's coming next. I'm all good with that.
Right,
And
and
it
go
reduces
at their
the stress.
pace.
Yes.
Right, be patient enough to go at their pace. I mean, some people are ready to move and
Right.
like, ooh, my
And
aunt was like, let's go, and but my father is like, never.
And that's like anything, any service that you're in. You have to be able to read the energy of the person you're with.
Correct.
When I was working in a restaurant, not all the tables that you serve are going to be the same. Some
Right.
might want to be talkative. Some might want you to just take their order and give them their food. So being able to read them,
Right.
what was the biggest thing, the best thing, or the most monumental that you took from getting started? And what would you say that did for you to continue on this journey? Because it doesn't, just because you had gotten to that point doesn't mean that you would want to have continued. What drew you in?
Well, at that point we started touring facilities too.
Love it.
And when we saw the quality of life that people had, and people, when you say, Mom, it's time for you to move, you need to go somewhere where you can be better cared for. They automatically assume they're going into a nursing home. They're going to be sitting in a chair, staring out the window, doing nothing all day. And I kind of had that thought process as well until I started touring these facilities.
They're fun.
And saw
some of them I'm like, can I come over?
Exactly.
Vibrant, happy people
Yeah.
who were socializing. I mean, they were actually in one room having a Wii bowling tournament.
I love
I
that.
saw them in there swinging those wands. I said, what are they doing?
And they
She said,
compete against other places
other
as well.
communities come in.
Oh
And
my
funny.
word.
so they not only socialize with the people who are in their own facility, but they get to know others as well.
Yeah.
And they were just they were just vibrant, happy people.
I
And,
love that.
they weren't put somewhere waiting to die. They were living life to its fullest.
Right.
In the
Which-
capacity that was right for them. And I
Absolutely.
love that.
Yes.
Because
And
not everyone can live alone into their late years. Let's be real.
No.
Some people I've known well into their 90s, and I'm like, I don't know how you're doing it. I'm getting tired already.
right.
But some really can't.
Right.
They just
Right.
But
simply
they don't.
can't.
They keep hanging on because
They're
see
not given the right
themselves-
info.
Right.
They
Yeah.
don't
See
have
themselves
a
rotting.
Sandy and a Janet
Right.
to say, hey, let us walk you through the process. Let us
Right,
help
Right,
you.
right. And we learned too through the CD shop how important socialization is. And
Mhm.
basically it's almost, what did they compare it to, like the like, I mean, smoking or something. I mean, it's so bad for people just sitting
Oh,
by
the addiction, the need
themselves.
for it is,
Well, just it's so unhealthy. I
Right.
mean,
Oh,
it's just
I'm
it's
sure.
Sitting
just
home
really
alone, your brain rotting.
Yeah.
You're
It
just
leads-
watching
depression.
TV.
It leads to a lot of, I'm sure,
right.
other additional health
It's
concerns.
terrible, right,
Yeah.
for them. And
Yeah.
and it's like when they get to these places, you can socialize as much as you want. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't have to be the social
Right. You
butterfly,
can
but
stay in your room and have dinner by yourself
Right.
if you want, or you can go down to the dining room and meet people and play bingo
Yeah.
afterwards, and
Yeah.
go to the pool.
They have
and
movies.
They have salons. Get your
Yeah.
hair done.
Yeah.
Get your nails done.
They have doctors. I know I have a
Yes.
client who actually, I sold her home, and she went into a facility. It's not assisted living, but it's senior
Independent.
housing.
Mhm.
And she's very, very reluctant. She's starting to come around. It's taken a year and a half. But same thing. She at least knows that if something does happen, there is someone there. But she doesn't have to go down to dinner. She
Right,
doesn't
right.
have to do the events, but she can, and she's in a safe place. So
Right.
she's able to maintain life, her everyday living,
And
in a
it gives
safe
peace
environment.
of mind to her family.
And she
as well.
doesn't have, I was just going to say, she lost her husband, so there's really no family. She's got distant family outside of the area, but her to have remained in a home where she had truly no connections
Mhm.
was not a smart idea. While it was a hard decision, it was the best decision.
Right.
So
right. And
I love
hopefully in
that.
the end she'll start.
She's starting to come around. I talk to her every so often. She calls me all the time. She wants that companionship, and luckily she
Right.
does have a best friend who comes and sees her regularly. But
That's
she's starting to come around. She's stubborn. She wanted to stay doing things her way, and
a lot of them do.
and
a lot of them
After
do.
she's
a while,
seeing
they
the benefit.
realize that it's not the best option for them. Sometimes
Agree.
they need a push to, make them realize that.
Yeah.
but
Right. Right.
Hopefully they all
And
come around.
And not always
eventually.
just a push, but we give them a pathway. So they know, there is a way. It's not horrific like in their mind, because they sit there by themselves thinking, oh my God, I don't want to do this by myself.
Right.
You don't have to do it by yourself. And, we can help guide you to where you want to go, hopefully with the least amount of stress and
the force of least resistance,
Yes.
So from this, and I, even before I had talked to you guys about coming and doing the podcast, I had caught wind, obviously we're in the same brokerage and we share a lot of things, that you guys were starting to do events. And I was just I'm like, I want to attend one just so that I can feel the energy. I've attended one of your seminars. I think it was a home selling seminar, and it was amazing. Like, I, as an agent, was able to go, oh, wow, that's such a great perspective, or loving to see how your clients were engaged with you. It had nothing to do with my business, but it was so motivating to see what that looks like. And it's not just about buying and selling homes. I want everyone to know that real estate is so much more than that.
No.
It's not HGTV.
No.
There are many things that are similar, but we are not in a world of that limelight. We are grinding. We are working very hard for our clients.
We're servants.
And
We
educating
serve,
them.
We serve our
You are
clients.
serving,
We are
yes.
not. We are not. I don't know what the word I'm trying to find is, but
Yeah.
we're service based.
Yeah.
What do you need from me, and
Yeah,
how
yeah.
can I provide it?
Yeah. So you guys have come up with creating this program,
Mhm.
and what you're doing is you're scheduling these events. You're scheduling at places that make sense. I'm assuming senior centers, senior housing facilities. And tell me a bit about that, because I know you've also invited some additional professionals to be part of this.
Well, we are having presentations that we've scheduled at local senior centers.
Okay.
Glenville Senior Center, Schenectady Senior Center, and Clifton Park so far.
Wonderful.
We chose those venues because that's where seniors gather, and that's
Yeah.
where they're comfortable. That's
Yeah.
where they feel, most comfortable
Right.
having conversations and asking questions,
Mhm.
and they don't feel pressured.
Right.
It's not like we're there trying to sell them something. We're really not trying to sell them something. We're trying to make their lives easier in the long run by showing them that this can be done. It can be done with very little stress. It can take away, as I said before, take away the unknown.
I love it.
Give them a path. I mean, we ourselves talk about the selling process.
Yeah.
We start right from the beginning, from the day we go to their house, and we walk them through the entire process from start to finish, right to the closing table.
Right.
But there's a lot of other pieces to it that
And you're connecting
we're not
those
qualified to speak on. So we have other people.
So you're connecting
Other
them.
experts.
You're bridging
Right,
it.
right,
So
right,
essentially
right.
you are offering that service. You're becoming a liaison to your clients
Yes.
and giving them all of the info they need. And that's, again, something that not everyone would be willing to take the time to do.
We kind of think of ourselves as like project managers.
I love that.
And it's kind of like we're going to direct
Yeah.
hopefully
You're the traffic
connect them with
controllers.
people that they need, and get as you said, trusted people that we know, and introduce them to the people who are looking to move, and just make them feel comfortable. They need information, in order to feel comfortable.
Right.
Well, and I think you just said something. You both had talked about the word trusted. And now in everyday life of real estate, we know that people work with who, Willie says it all the time, people work with who they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
But when you're talking about a senior citizen who's already apprehensive, once they have connected with you and they know that you are giving them or providing them the resource for someone that you trust, that essentially takes even more stress away from them. Not just giving them a referral, but someone that you trust makes them feel like, okay, I'm still on a safe path. I think you said pathway. That is, I think, what the difference is. Because anybody, I've worked with seniors, I have clients like that, but it's a little bit more when you're taking the extra time to kind of perfect and refine how you work with seniors.
Right.
And what you two women are doing are really crafting something that's not seen in the masses. It's not a huge focal point,
Right.
but it is a seriously large area that needs attention.
And that's
It
exactly
needs to be addressed.
every senior facility that we toured, when we explained what the purpose of our tour, are wanting to know these things. Every person that toured with us said, "Oh, that's such a great idea, and there's such a need for that."
Right.
Right.
We all know that seniors are vulnerable in
Right.
that they can be targeted because of the lack of additional resources with them on a daily. If they don't have family members living with them and they're getting calls and things in the mail, we all know, we've all heard the stories. We know what that can lead to.
Yep.
And so the fact that something such as large and monumental as selling a home and transitioning to such a different part of living.
Right.
And one of the ladies who's joining us for our presentations, she's actually, her forte is, if you want to stay in your home, how do we make it possible for you?
Even if it's short term.
Sure, we want to sell your home if you're selling it, but that, again,
but there's other options.
There's other options.
I love
and
it.
We want you to be aware of them. We want you to know that this person is out there who can help you with all of these things.
Yeah.
She can guide you to different services if you need them, whatever they may be. If it's just a ride to the doctors,
I love that.
an
Grab bars in the
nurse,
shower,
or whatever we need to make you comfortable in your home.
And
if
safe.
That's I mean, we want to give you the option too. Also, if you want to stay in your home, how do we make that happen?
I love that. I think it's fabulous. So you've extended your program, whether it's senior specialists who create healthy and safe living environments for them staying in their home. What other types of professionals are you doing? Organizers, people that can help them downsize or eliminate?
We have called Sheila, who is an expert basically in sort of decluttering, clearing out a house or something.
Okay.
If you're going from a 2,500 square foot home to
1,200
square foot apartment,
it's a bigger task than you
need to
think.
get rid of stuff.
Right.
But they're willing. They will say, okay, this is what fits in this space.
Yeah.
You kind of have to get rid of other stuff.
Get rid of the 12-seat dining table and hutch and
Yeah.
buffet. You're not going to be using that.
Yeah.
You're not going to be hosting Thanksgiving dinners
Right.
anymore.
But again, she does it delicately
Oh,
too,
yeah.
so it's not
But-
like you're
and she will
tearing things out
also
of people's
she
hands.
also has people who, like, you don't want to just give away that
Yeah.
furniture. She has vendors who will come in and offer you money for them.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
helps you pack.
Kind of like an on-site, estate sale, but you're not
Yes.
having to do your whole house. And
But she also helps you pack.
I love it.
And
Yeah.
she'll take everything to your new home and unpack it.
Right.
That's
But
She
amazing.
makes sure that
The
when
kitchen-
you wake up in your new house on the first day, you have coffee, you have bagels,
Right.
you have
Yeah.
whatever you
everything's
need
set
to
up
start,
to start
your day.
living.
I
Right.
love
So
that.
it keeps it from being so overwhelming. Like, you like when I went to see my mom after she moved, I walked in and she was sitting in a chair surrounded by boxes with a path through them, and she looked like
And
a
that's
deer
dangerous.
in
Yeah.
the headlights.
Yeah. And that creates a
I-
safety concern.
Right.
Yeah.
Safety and stress.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is not.
Visually, she didn't feel at home. She didn't feel calm.
No, she
And I'm
didn't
sure
know
it
where
made
any
her-
of her stuff was.
Yeah.
She didn't know. She was just sitting in a sea of boxes, looking horrified, and
yeah.
then I was horrified for her.
Right.
You know,
I love this. I think that this is something you guys are going to take to really high extremes, and I'm excited to kind of be in your fan club and,
Oh,
and
thank
watch
you.
from the bleachers. I really am.
Yeah.
I think it's so awesome.
We also have an elder law attorney who's going to be
Oh.
joining us as well.
That's amazing.
Because you're going to want to know how your assets are going to be
Yeah.
protected, whether
Yeah.
it's capital gains issues or
Right.
whether you need
Do they
a
need
trust.
to? Yeah. Do they need to
whether
invest
it's-
so that money stays
Right.
lasting
right,
longer? That's my
I mean,
client
we
situation.
We
Yep.
don't know those things,
But you know that those are things that
Are
conversations that need to happen.
Yeah,
Which
yes.
is great that you can connect them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the $1 million question is, we talked about how seniors aren't necessarily tech savvy. They're not on social media. They're not reading emails. They're not, texting and all that stuff. What has been your way to get the message out to seniors? How are you making that connection to them in a way that feels right for them?
Well,
Go ahead.
we were going to the senior centers, and actually they
Yep.
have like a mailing list. They have things out there.
Beautiful.
So if people come to them, they will see it there, and then they can come to
And
our
we're gonna,
presentations.
we're gonna give them all sorts of materials
Yep.
to take home because they're gonna want to look things over at their own
Correct.
pace.
Yes.
And
They're very
so-
much a paper
Yes,
generation.
Right.
Yes.
They're the generation of, date books,
Paperwork.
writing out their checkbooks, still
Yes.
balancing it. Like, these are the things we have to be sensitive to, because I
Right.
would love to still do that. I just don't feel like I have the mental capacity and the time, but I
Right.
respect, and I actually enjoy seeing somebody that's still into that paper mode,
Yeah.
because I do a lot off my phone. I'm sure you ladies do, but I still have
Yes.
this
Yeah,
is this
gotta
is
have
my
the
this
paper.
is I
Yep.
have to have at least something to, even if it's jotting down notes, keeping me going.
I think we all
Because
do.
I love technology, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I want to break from it, but I also want that visual. I want that tangible.
Right.
I'm a list person. I like
Yeah.
checking things off. Seniors are the same way.
Right.
They need to see it. They
'Cause
need
that's the
to
way they
have
grew
it.
up and had it
Correct.
their whole life, to try to switch. But yeah, so we'll have like a folder with a lot of
Love it.
information, stepping kind of again then through the process, and hopefully they'll come and enjoy and
I
get some
love it.
information out of it.
I love it. So you guys have something to tell us about. You guys have some events coming up. Before we talk about the dates and the details, for one of your events coming up, what I'd like to do is I do some sewing and I make jar openers, and they are the grippies. And so what I'd like to do is supply you with, a good bundle of those
That's
to
awesome.
hand
Thank you.
out, because I know that something so simple
For
could be
you and
super
I.
could be
That's-
super helpful.
Yeah.
So
That was
I'd
easy
love
for you
to.
and I.
I'm using them all the time. I mean, part of mine is first, but I use it all the time. And the other day, I officially had to ask for help from my husband, even because that didn't work. I'm like, oh boy, now we're getting into some deep waters. But tell us about the events you have coming up. Give us any of the details. I will, when I put this video out, make sure to, if you have a link, a registration link, whatever that is, I'm going to make sure to tag that so people can find you directly.
Right. Well, we didn't want to use a QR code because we know that a lot of seniors are not familiar.
They're going
with
to take
how
a picture
use-
of that QR code.
Yes, exactly. So we are putting it out on social media, but we can share the
Facebook.
details
Yeah.
as well. Our first presentation is going to be at the Glenville Senior Center, and that's located at 32 Warden Road in Glenville. And it's going to be on Thursday, January 15th.
Next week.
Yep, 1:30 to 3 p.m.
Awesome.
We're also having another one at the Schenectady Senior Center, which is on State Street. It's 1748 State Street in Schenectady. And that's going to be on Thursday, February 19th. And that one is going to be from 11 to 12:30.
Okay.
Now, all we ask people, everyone's welcome to attend. Just please call one of us
Yes.
and just tell us, and we'll put you on the
Need
list.
the registration. That's
right,
important.
they
Just so we
need to
know
know
how many to expect and
Correct.
how many giveaways to bring with us.
And also,
as
I think
well.
those facilities want to know who's coming.
Sure.
Of
They
course.
want to know who's in their building.
Yes,
So,
yes, as they should.
so I love this. I think this is such a great episode because it really does hit on something that's so important. We've all at some point in our life, or will at some point in our life, experience a family member, a friend of this demographic that needs a little bit more assistance and structure in transitioning, whether it's transitioning to stay in the home, transitioning to move out of the home, short-term, long-term. We really do need that connection. So if you know or are someone who's needing services that definitely hone in for that senior demographic, please reach out to, whether it's Sandy or Janet. If you're going to reach out to any type of real estate professional or senior specialist, what is one thing you each would say that you should be asking or finding out from the person you're connecting with?
Well, right now for a senior, I would check to make sure that they have the SRES. I think they have to be
Designation.
senior real estate specialist because it does. We did go through training to kind of recognize what seniors go through versus any other
I
home
love
buyer.
that. I love that.
So I would definitely check for that.
And I would say if you have any trusted family members that you want to bring in, keep them in the loop, ask them to give us a call. We'd be happy to speak with them as well if it will put them at ease knowing that you're in good hands.
Yeah, I think Brian and Willie also say this: have all the decision makers present.
Yes.
And so in the regards to seniors, having someone else that either can retain and remember the information or help with the decision making of deciding who to work with, deciding what course of action to take, so important. I really thank you. I know that time is, important for all of us as our work days, but it was great sitting down with you both.
Thank you
I hope
so
to do it
much.
again.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for helping us get the message out.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
And hopefully we'll be back and give you
Yeah,
more information.
we're definitely going to have more episodes. This is episode 2 of At Home with Tracy, and definitely keep in, or stay tuned, I should say. We are going to be hitting topics, everything from working with veterans. That's something that's near and dear to my heart. My son is a veteran. We're going to have some experts and specialists who can talk to you about what that looks like. We're going to be highlighting some community events and small local businesses. So stay tuned. This is something you can view, watch, and review at your leisure. So until next time, I'll see you on the flip side.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.